Welcome back to 13C. Today we're talking about the latest release from Olight. This is the PL-Mini Valkyrie 2. Now this is billed out as a modular weapons light. That's one of the biggest changes from the PL-Mini Valkyrie. And you saw we did a video on this many months ago. You've seen it appear here and there in some other videos we've done. Put a lot of use through this light over the past several months. It's held up very well. Haven't had any issues with it. So it's still kicking. Should we experience any problems with it, we will let you know. But thus far, it is still rocking. So biggest upgrades and differences between the old one and the new one. This one is slightly smaller, and it's 600 lumens as opposed to 400 lumens on the old one. The modular aspect comes into the top rail here, where it attaches. It translates back and forth here to adjust for different lengths rails and different spaces on the front of your handgun. So what that means is a Archon Type B that we've got in. We actually put up a video on one of these not long ago. Boom. So you lock it into place on the rail. There you go. Now, you take it in this exact same position and you try and put it on a Springfield XDS. You can't do it. This where your one rail slot is, it's too far back for your toward your trigger guard here to allow it to attach. So same reason why the PL Mini would never work on this. What you do for this is you can translate this backward, a couple pushes, and there's a little catch in there. Click it on there, and then lock it into place. Now when you lock it into place, it's not only locking and securing the clamp onto your rail, it's also, there's teeth in the bottom that grab on to the light to prevent it from moving back and forth now. So it's on there nice and solid. It is not moving. And now you actually have one of the few pistol mounted lights that'll work on something as small as like this XDS. Not that I'm really a huge XDS fan, and quite honestly I have no idea why I still own this pistol. I probably should have sold it years ago, but as far as for a compact pistol, it's, I don't know, I try and keep different guns on hand. I'm digressing. In any event, save some money, pick up something like this Smith & Wesson M&P Shield instead. Long way short, even though that one doesn't have a rail. I don't care. I'm not putting a rail on a small gun like that anyway. Maybe you do, that's fine. This is IPX6. So it is rated to be have water forced on it in like jets, and I forget the exact pressure rate from any direction, multi-directional. So it is impervious to water being shot at it at whatever those pressures are. Basically what that means as far as we're concerned is that this thing can get rained on by the heaviest torrential downpour and it will be fine. Now, it being IPX6, you're not going to see us normally on a lot of these Olights recently. We've been doing some water testing on them. You're not going to see us do that because that is an IPX7 rating, is submersion. IPX6 is not meant to be submerged, so we're not going to do that. We're not going to purposely destroy light and do something to it that it's not rated for, right? It doesn't make sense. In any event, those are the big differences. The beam throw on this is 100 meters. That's what Olight listed as. And if you notice when we go through some of these different Olights, I'll point out to you when I think they're being conservative and when I think they're being liberal. So some of these ratings that they give out, I think sometimes they're a little conservative. On this one, I think they're being a little too liberal. Using it out here around the farm, I would say 100 meters is well pushing the limits of this light. I would say probably more 75 meters. Is going to be maybe more of a best case, and then at really you're starting to lose your usable light really more around 50 yards. What I would be consider actually usable good light about 50 yards. Still, that's a tremendous distance for a light this small and what you would be using it for in a self-defense application. But in any event, I thought that was important to point out on this. 50 yards of usable light and of good light, and then maybe plus 25 yards on that. I think 100, like I said, is really pushing it. This is a wide throw on this. This is not a spot beam. This is a wide throw. We'll put some pictures in there. Now, I got this just before we left for SHOT Show. Olight sent it in to us to test, and my plan was, it was a busy weekend right before I left. My plan was to do it as soon as we got back. I had Friday, Saturday, and it's now Sunday night. So temperature-wise, we've been out there, we've been shooting it and using it. I got some still pictures we'll roll in here from the cell phone. But temperature-wise, it's been single digits during the day, negatives at night. There's no way I'm taking my nice camera out there into this cold and destroying it. It just does not make sense. I can't afford to be replacing cameras to make a video. So this is what we're with. But what I will do is we will come back and we'll follow up on this in future social media postings. as well as maybe we'll make another video of how a lot of these different weapons lights that we've been using are holding up. The Olights and some of the other lights we've had in and we've been testing as well. So hopefully that helps. It does have a low battery indicator on this one as opposed to the other one. It's right here on the side. It'll flash red when it gets low, and charges using that same round recharger guy that goes onto the that clips onto it and recharges. It takes about an hour to go from 0 to 100 on the charge. And I think battery life, you get about an hour's worth of use out of this light. Starts at 600 lumens and then it'll step itself down as it starts to get hotter. An hour's worth of light out of something this small and this light, lightweight, I should say, light, right? I think that's pretty dang good. I can't fault it for an hour's worth of use. For something this small and this tiny. I mean, the battery in here is going to be absolutely minuscule. So, and it's pretty light. One other thing, this will not fit into, if you wound up getting a holster made for your PL-Mini, this will not work in the same type of holster with that. It's just not, it's not the right size and dimensions. So you're probably going to need to get a new holster if you upgrade to this light off the old one. Something to consider. I think that probably pretty much covers it. If you guys have any questions about this, you can leave them down below, facebook.com/gun reviews, as well as Instagram. We're at 13C gun reviews there as well. Thanks, everybody. 13c.us is the website, and we appreciate all the support, your likes, comments, and subscriptions. Thanks, everybody. Stay warm. We've got a massive snowstorm coming in here right now, as well as the high, I think, tomorrow is going to be -10 here. So, hopefully we don't die. Talk to you soon. Bye.